Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the Serious Strategy Game, and we are returning to the Black Sea playing Command Modern Operations NATO against Russia. We've just received pretty dire news, and we've been trying to fight off these 40 cruise missiles that are heading towards Romania and that were launched somewhere from the Caucasus region. And I'm not sure where they are going exactly. There are a couple of targets, the Constanta naval base, these raid installations, potentially this SAM site. We don't know what they are going for. We're going to try to intercept them all and hopefully we're going to shoot them down. I think we must have shot down 20 or so already, but it's tough. The other thing that we are currently doing is we are attacking this group of 4 Russian ships, mostly at this point only frigates, but we do know that there was at some point a destroyer, no sorry, a cruiser even, in that group. We haven't seen that cruiser in a while, at least we are not seeing it emitting any active radar missions for the moment. So we don't exactly know whether it has gone down or whether it's still around there. My original plan was to try to test the waters with a couple of missiles, but since I don't know whether the Moskva is around, we're going to keep it as is, and we're going to be simply trying to launch sort of everything that we've got, and that includes these 16 missiles. And I'm just checking here whether their speed sort of matches up a little bit with the speed of these harpoons, and it doesn't quite. There's a 40 knot difference, so let's sort of double check that. So this is a different distance of 60 miles here. This is only 35 miles, so we're going to wait a couple of minutes, or well, seconds I guess, until we're going to launch these guys here and have them launch their JSORs at these ships too. The hope is of course that we're going to bring them down. That would have various advantages. The most important being that we've got a huge strike incoming for the Crimean area, and probably a lot of these launches are going to be from this area here. And this group here running active radar missions is sort of a picket line for them, if you will. And I would very much prefer if that wasn't the case, if we could just get rid of them and have an easier time approaching this area here overall. There are currently 2 fighters up here, 2 Su-27s. We've got an F-22 here. I think it could take them down relatively easily. The disadvantage is the F-22 does actually need to engage its radar to be able to fire missiles against these guys. And for the moment I would prefer that not to happen, because there's so many surface-to-air missiles in this region that I would really not like to take them or well, run that risk. The other thing is the Su-27, yeah, it's a fighter jet. It's somewhat dangerous, but honestly I don't think they do have a lot of standing power. So I'm guessing, you know, I think we saw them coming in from somewhere over here, from Russia proper. So I don't know that we need to take them out over here, or whether we're just gonna see them off basically and hope that that does that does lead them to be mission killed effectively. We are currently preparing a lot of strikes. The big strike that I was talking about, we've got a couple of flights coming in from the UK. These are long-range planes. They're going to come here immediately. That's not going to be a problem. But we also have a couple of shorter range planes, Tornadoes, F-16s, that kind of thing. They don't really have the range to reach here, so they need to be tanked and refueled over Romania. So they're currently doing that. We've also got a couple of strike returning. That's fine. We're sending a couple of planes down here towards this naval base to intercept some of this stuff. So that's these guys coming up there. And then lastly, we are trying to build up a couple of ground strikes in Ukraine itself. But we'll need to see. We are seeing some missiles here, but that's just that's not aimed at us. It's obviously these Su-35 flankers being targeted by the Ukrainian air defenses, which is nice to see. There's also a submarine down there. Oh, we should basically, I think, launch now. Yeah, we should really do that. Right, so we've got 4 targets. I think what we're going to do is we're simply going to target each of these ships with one of our planes, and have them sort of target all of their stuff at the same time. And I'm realizing now that we are a little bit too low, so we need to be at least at 10,000 feet. So let's try to climb up here at sort of a high speed and try to launch immediately. Right, 10,000 feet shouldn't take too long, but I'm hoping that all of these guys arrive sort of at the same time. And there might very well be still a 5th ship in there, which we haven't seen yet, but we'll need to see. Right, okay, wild boars, these guys. Oh yeah, that's the growlers. Now, it's okay that you're launching against these guided missiles, because I really don't want you to be here for your missiles. You're here to jam their radar. The most important thing is that you're not returning to base now. Okay, you're not. That's good to see. Right. You guys are now coming in here. Come on, 10,000 feet. There we go. Now you should start to launch. I think we can go back to loiter speed now. Are you launching, please? Am I just not seeing that? No, no. You are launching. That's good to see. Right, okay. We're going to keep an eye on that. Let's keep an eye on things in the other area too, just to make sure that there's no big surprise here. There's a MiG-31. Let's keep an eye on that. We've got an F-35 up here. And I do think I did just launch another Lightning, which I sent over here. I want to send it over here because we've starting to realize that there are a lot of more air defenses around the crossing here. The Kerch, is it the Kerch crossing? I don't know. But we want to get a better feeling about where exactly they are. Currently they are somewhere in that region, and that's not going to be good enough to be targeted by a lot of our longer range weapons. So we need to get a little bit more intel there. Right, we're launching these JSOLs, and you can see these numbers climbing up, which is nice because that does mean that you are indeed engaging them, which is good. Now we could use the the Growlers do not actually have any guns, so that's interesting to see. Okay, stop it here for a second, and let's actually pick the flight here. So you've launched all of your missiles there. Is there any chance for us to catch up to these guided missiles? I don't think there is. We've got these Su-27s, they're doing stuff and they seem to be trying to engage us, but honestly I don't think they're going to be successful in doing that. So, and I think the JSOLs are basically fire and forget weapons, aren't they? Let's actually look at their target acquisition mechanism so that we are not getting anything wrong here. So yeah, you've got an infrared seeker, mid-course plus infrared terminal guidance. I think it should be enough. We're close enough to these guys to not require any sort of updates. So I think we can actually bring you home, and that should also get rid of this intercept here. He's clearly driving at military speed, so he's got something on his mind. I'm not too sure about this flanker here. He might be trying to come in for the Growler, but we'll see. We've got the F-22 in the way. Shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, you guys are now returning home. You're climbing the altitude. Did shoot down another cruise missile there. That's nice to see. But yeah, there are just so many more. None of these planes are ours. These are all AI planes, except for this one over here. We could be engaging these MiG-31s. I think that wouldn't be the worst idea. There's also, of course, the meta of the Su-27 there. All of these refueling actions seem to be going alright. Just need to double check on a couple of these guys. Yeah, you are kind of low on fuel, but you'll be alright once we get there, I think. You're making your way over here. It's going to be an hour, so that's I think pretty good, and that's around the time when we probably want to launch. Maybe a little bit earlier, so I'm just going to go on military speed briefly here because I want to get closer to that before we basically launch. It might also be that these guys are now trying to defend their ships and trying to shoot down some of their missiles, which would be an interesting choice, I think. But I'm not sure yet that that is what's happening here. Right, I think we can bring you in a little bit closer. Don't want to be engaged by any surface air missile here, but meh, we'll see. Good. Anything else here? No, just missiles up there. That's okay. You guys are coming up there, right? So you're the Mavericks, and we've also got a couple of bombers here. So that's 4 planes, and the Mavericks are... How come you've got so few Mavericks? Oh, because you also got bombs, which do have a decent range. Currently, we're bringing both of these flights over there. I don't think that's actually really required, but I also think we've got another flight over here. Don't we? It's just a Eurofighter group. What else? Yeah, I think there won't be one more cluster bomber. Now, we don't need 2 groups to engage that single one over here, so I really don't. But on the other hand, we don't really have another target at the moment, so yeah, how are we going to do that then? So you guys, 24 bombs. You've got slightly less, so you know what? You're going to be staying over here for the moment. and just idle. And you're going to attack basically that group. Should be okay. Right. Let's keep an eye on things over here. Just look at how many things there are. We're currently losing track of them a little bit. But that's going to be alright. We're going to find them sooner rather than later, I'm afraid. And I don't think these missiles are going to be able to engage these guys over here too much. We've also got our submarine coming in, which is going to be nice, and hopefully does some good things there for us. I also found a couple of planes down here, some Eurofighters, I think, yeah, Typhoons. You guys should be able to come over here. You're going to refuel before that, because I'm not even sure why you didn't do that at some point, but that's going to be okay. Right, you know what, let's go slightly faster here, because I want to find out just whether we can wreck all of these ships. For now, this is looking good. I mean, we are pretty close to them. And they don't seem to be engaging us, so they're jamming us now. But remember that the JSOLs have got infrared things, so the jamming doesn't affect them too much. They of course got all this other stuff that can cause infrared to go off target. But yeah, there you go. You can see that now they are engaging our missiles and shooting down a number of them. But I do think we're going to see some of them, a lot of their ships being slammed and killed here. That is indeed what we're seeing. And it looks like we're actually retargeting some of these ships, which I really, really appreciate. Nice. SAM is, however, never really good news. Okay, but that's also against these ships, so that's fine. Against these missiles, rather. Okay, we did... wait a minute, what's this ship? Why could it take? It's a frigate. A frigate that survived at least a harpoon hit. But I don't think it's going to survive all of these. Yeah, there we go. Fantastic. That's very excellent news. That does give us a lot more room to maneuver in this entire area here. And I'm extremely happy about that. You guys are returning to base. That's sort of what I want you to do. What are you guys doing? You should also be returning to base, really. And you don't need to be minimum altitude here. You can save some fuel. That'd be good. Also for the environment. Right, so let's check on these guys here. You should be able to get down there quite nicely. You've got Sightwinder, so you know what? Let's get you towards an altitude of 200 feet, because that's sort of what they are running at. And yeah, you're doing that. That's nice. Let's bring you guys in too, and we're also going to ask you guys to come very, very low. I know that's a little bit more stressful for the pilot here, but it's going to be alright. Interesting to see these flankers here still sort of going this way, which I really don't think we need to have them do that. Well, we could, you know what we could do is we could actually use the Sightwinders against these guys. That would be kind of fun. You know what? No, that's stupid. Let's not risk our F-22. It's way too valuable a plane to sort of waste on these guys, which basically should turn around now anyway. I can't really expect them to. What's that missile? We are seeing a missile over here. Where's that going? Okay, let's look at the anti-air range and see what these guys have got. And the answer is not really that much. So it could be going for the F-22 anyway. It could have been fired at one of our cruise missiles, which has now become irrelevant. There's really not that much that we've even got in the vicinity. These guys were returning, you guys were retiring. None of you are really that endangered here, I would say. We've got a couple of patrol aircraft all the way down here, but I'm not too worried about them, honestly. So let's see. Slightly worried about these planes, maybe, but then again, not really. But you're still running military speed, so I'm not too sure where you're going. Where are you going with that? Are you trying to engage these guys? You could very well do that. You guys are turning south here. Whoa, what's that? Oh, did we lose the target acquisition here already? Okay, let's turn around with you here. And you'll actually need to go military speed, please. And you know what? You should actually use your sensors. You should likewise use your sensors, please. Okay, yeah. now you did, and now we're seeing all of these missiles. Well, have fun shooting at them. Well, we've got the Sightwinders. I'm not sure when they're going to be tracking these targets, basically. But should be okay, I think. We've got a lot of range here to basically cover these guys. So I suppose we can sort of fly around like that. Come on, guys. Come on, I know you can shoot at them. You're basically in the midst of them. We have seen that happening before. Yeah. I kind of wish you could pause these notifications for a while there. Right, you guys can also try to be a little bit faster here, I believe. No, not cruise military speed, please. Come on, what's going on? Why are you not shooting? You should be shooting. Yeah, there we go. Launch a couple of these missiles. Maybe not the targets that are really, really far away. But what do I know, huh? But it's just so many missiles here. Guys, I'll need to have you come a little bit lower and faster, please. We're going to use our guns as well, of course, but only going to be that successful, I think. So many missiles. At least they are relatively easy to shoot down, but still. Still seeing that target. We're still seeing these MiG-31s. Let's double check on what we've got in this area here. So we've got this F-16 with 2 missiles. That's a little bit awkward, honestly. Okay, let's run it over here too. You guys are going to go loiter speed so that you're going to allow these other guys to catch up a little bit. And these guys are the ground attack aircraft. And then what else have we got? So, flight. Okay, we've got the Eurofighter here. Yeah, you're going to return that too. All of you guys are coming in nicely. That's okay. Yeah, I think, who are you? You are on your way home. Everyone else should start up to refuel. Hopefully you're not going to be screwed there by the order of things. Okay, so you guys have fired off all of your missiles. But I do believe that you should be slightly faster than them, so I think that's going to be alright. Okay, let's bring you down even further. And the same for you, please. Also, who's been firing off these missiles here? Someone over here? Ah, oh, Jesus! I didn't tell the F-35 here to stop firing. Oh, that's awkward. That's a waste of missiles. The F-35 should really not be doing that sort of thing. But yeah, there we go, regardless. Oh well. At least it's gonna bring some of them down, I hope. Right, what are you doing? Why are you not... Come on. You. Come on over here. Run along with these guys. And please, 200 feet. Yeah, let's try to use our guns as much as possible. And I think you guys should actually try to go cruise speed because you'll need to have these guys catch up to you, basically. Right, Pumas? Oh yeah, you're the Gripens, right? So let's come like that. You're gonna use your radar, please. By default, this is off because it's just a little bit easier to follow things. Really? Really? Oh man, I'm losing all of my respect here for the Gripens. Why can't you go faster than this, please? That's just so many missiles here that are really screwing us over. Okay, let's go as slow as possible here with these guys. And I'm very worried about the naval base. Not so much about the radar installations anymore, but the naval base here is in deep trouble. Can we... It might also be still the SAM side. In which case, it might actually be better to bring in our Eurofighters to that threat. Let's try to do that. Just a couple of sidewinders here, no point really diverting you. You're a bit of a distraction here, but okay, you guys are coming in faster now. So that's alright. And you guys, try to be a little bit faster too, maybe. You should then be able to fire off missiles against these guys. And you're engaged defensive. Well, you shouldn't be. Let's you know, guys. Move that way. You're assigned to that mission there. That's annoying. Fast, go. Okay, there we go. Finally, some stuff happening. Okay, we also need to unassign you to really follow our orders here, please. Okay, and it doesn't seem to be going for the naval base itself, although it's certainly passing pretty close to that. Just how many of these guys are we going to be able to bring down? That's the big question here. Well, at least I'm starting to see some gaps here in between all of this. But remember, there's an entire second wave of these guys. Okay, you have officially exhausted all of your stuff, so you can really return home at this point. You guys are doing weird things, but I'm hoping at least to catch up here. But yeah, that probably means that you're going for the SAM site here. Which, in all fairness, I think has been identified as one of the targets in the briefing. So that's kind of likely. We're also hoping to find this guy here. So that's nice to see. I do believe that he's going to be below the layer, though. And I think you guys are only laying sonar boys here above the layer. For the moment, at least. So, you know what? Let's drop one deep here immediately. Because I just think that's a little bit more likely. Okay, you've finally launched at least a missile here. You guys, I'm not sure why you're not launching. Oh no, you are. That's okay then. How about your sensors here? Yeah, you can use your radar, please. Stop it. Yeah, I know you fired off all of your missiles, but trust me, we can really engage these guys on an even with our guns. Not what we are used to do. But we are doing that. Remember your grandfathers. Whew. Let's not get complete tunnel vision here. I do want to keep an eye on things as they are developing elsewhere. So, you are coming here. That's nice. We're going to mark this as a hostile because at this point I'm kind of convinced that they are. These MiG-31s. Apparently other people here were shot down, which is okay. MiG-31s are fine. We've got this guy. You guys might be returning home. I don't know yet. We're certainly withdrawing a little bit here, so that's okay. Excuse me. These guys are returning to base now because they've shot off all of their missiles, which is kind of idiotic, but let's bring them back towards Crimea. Good. Okay. Well, I said I don't want to get tunnel vision, but apparently I very much misjudged that. That must have been a surface-to-air missile that I didn't see coming. Well, that is annoying. Speaking of annoying, there are more missiles coming down here, and so what have we even got in this vicinity? Since we are now relatively sure that they're going for this. So they're about 160 miles out. You guys are 90 miles out. That's fine. We've got these tornadoes which are flying home. Got a couple of sidewinders. Yeah, I do think we need to do this last ditch effort here, don't we? Even if it means burning fuel. Okay, let's try to bring you over here. And at this point here, I do want you to be at 200 feet. Yeah, sometimes it's weird how these guys react. Okay, you guys are coming there, you guys are coming there. You are, I believe, kind of far away, 160 miles. Yeah, that's going to be too far away. We could try to do military speed, but I don't think that's going to match up, so probably not going to be that useful here. You guys, on the other hand, you're actually part of the strike package, but you're also carrying a couple of longer range missiles, which I think are not actually the worst idea to bring around. So let's try to use you there too. Come on, I just want to pick the last flight here. Yeah, you have Falcons. You also have a couple of larger missiles, so let's do bring you down there. You're currently refueling, but you know what? We can unassign you from that, then bring you down. And you really need to start to refuel, otherwise you're going to be dead soon. You've got Sidewinders. It's 105 miles. Okay, let's try to bring you down, and we're going to try to use our Sidewinders here. This is actually not too bad for us, because that actually means that we can try to use you to try to send off some of your anti-air missiles, which is going to be nice because it extends the range, because you're not hauling that much weight around you, which is nice. I'm really upset that we lost that plane there. I had believed that that would not be happening. Okay, let's pause here briefly and see what you're doing here exactly. So yeah, I think that is very much to where you're going. So you're doing fine. What altitude are you guys? 180 feet above ground level. You're 500 feet above ground level. Why? Because I did tell you to be manual override. But let's ask you to be 200 feet above ground level. That should be okay. Good. You guys also seem to be a little bit high, right? Well, let's see. Try to use our guns whenever we can. Simply because it's the stuff that we are packing. Really haven't spotted this guy yet. Yeah, so many... I must have overlooked a SAM missile that was launched there. Really annoying. That was a really high value target too. And by the way, who are you? Oh, Reaper. Okay, that's okay. Yeah, more and more missiles appearing. I think we've shot down around half of them, but still, that leaves so many of these guys around still that it is kind of annoying. So how are you guys doing? Not too badly, I think. Well, but that was officially your last salvo here, so you can actually retire, please. You, on the other hand, are still capable of shooting down at least some of them. There's no other place where we can scramble from that I think is anywhere close enough, so that's just not gonna work. And the last one, come on, there we go. Return to base, please. Baku Airport. You're not even the Gripens, are you? No. Okay, these fighters seem to be coming back. There are a couple of other flankers that are taking their place, apparently. That's all kind of alright. Who are you? Yeah, the Reaper. I think I just did check on you not that long ago. You guys are coming up here. That's alright-ish. No further planes that we can tell are here, but then again, we might just not be able to tell that. Okay, the annoying bit here is that we're going to lose track of all of these missiles here before these guys come in, but that's just going to be the way it is. Right, okay, you guys probably can come in a little bit more like that. I'm hoping that you're going to be fast enough here, but we'll see. We're going to see. Right. At least the long-range stuff, but even the Sidewinders might be good to launch. Right, you are doing that. Let's take a look here at what you could do against these guys. The big question is how we're going to do that. I think what we're going to do is we're going to launch 4 bombs from one of these guys, and then we're going to actually tell you to, in your doctrine window, we should be able to tell you that you should basically withdraw fuel state, weapon state, yes, and I would like you to leave individually. So the flight is going to break up. We're going to have one of our aircraft target these guys, and then the rest is going to stay sort of behind and cover for them, which I think is going to work out nicely. Good. Okay, so honestly, I think with all of these guided missiles there, we are not immediately going to be in a position to take them out, but let's see. So we should also talk about when our strike is happening. So I was thinking that we should aim for a 3 o'clock hit on these guys. 3 o'clock means that we need to launch our Tomahawks, which should take around 1.5 hours, I believe. Around about now, shouldn't it? What's your flight speed? 500 knots. Yeah, so that's 750 miles or so. So if we want to strike, if we want them to strike at 3 o'clock, we would need to launch now. And I think that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, this is something that where it's going to be kind of difficult to actually give all of these orders. So let's try to do that anyway and see what targets we are currently seeing in this vicinity. Yeah, it's going to be tough because there are going to be all of these naval bases, all of these SAM sites, all of these vehicles. Pretty much all of these guys should be saturated with various targets. Not necessarily the entire airbase and such. I don't think we're going to be able to take that out as that easily. At least not in the first strike. We might do that in a later stage. But I'll need to see how many targets we actually got, and then assign sort of missiles. You know what? We're going to assign that somewhat liberally. So why not 8 missiles each? Should work out. I think we've got so many. We've got 400 missiles or so that we counted all in all. So I think that is going to be all right. Anything we do want to take out maybe from the airbase? I think, you know what, at least 1 missile here, or let's say 2 against the tower building are going to be fine. The runway we're not going to take out. The ammo we might want to take out, depending on how many there are. Well, there are a lot of ammo shelters, so I don't think that's a worthwhile target. There's also a lot of gas storage there, so again, no. So let's try to take out the other tower too. And then we've got all of these mobile installations. Here I'm wondering, what if I assign 4 to all of these? Yeah, okay, it does assign multiple, so that's nice to see. We've got the ships, which we're not going to target, but we've got all of these radar installations, which we're going to target for sure. And I think we are going to target 8 missiles to each radar installation here. That already is 100 missiles, by the way, that we've accounted for here. And then we've got the S-400s, 8 missiles for sure. The S-300s, 8 missiles for sure. And that is basically leaving only 2 missiles here, which we're going to target to this guy, because why not? And then we're going to take the destroyer here. And I'm actually going to target these guys immediately as well, although there will be one trick that I'm going to do. But you're going to see that in a moment. Ooh, multi-mission. I didn't know we had that. I think we're going to keep these guys because they seem to be kind of fun, and I want to play around with that later on. So, where were we? I think with the S-400 Triumphs. Didn't I just see these? Down here, Grisha, radar, 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 radar. I think we did target them, right? Let's take a look at that. Yeah, we did target you. We did target you, but just by 2 missiles. So I think that should be another... I don't know what kind of target that is. It's just a SAM site. We don't know more about that. Let's try to target you. Then we've got these sort of smaller installations, which are not as high a priority, but which would still be kind of nice to take out. So I think 3 missiles to each of these is warranted. That's already kind of 40 missiles. Yeah. Sebastopol naval base. Lots of things there. I don't need to take them out. but these jammers here should also receive a lot of targets. Yeah, and that's basically all of our cruise missiles. Now I'm going to hit the play button here and going to show you what is going to happen here. And what is going to happen is that these guys are going to launch their cruise missiles. That's fine, that's the good thing, but it's going to take a while for them to be launched. And the nasty thing is, which I really kind of wish there was an option for that, is they're going to launch them in a way that doesn't betray their launch position. So we're going to have them come in not on a straight bearing, which makes sense because then they would know that our ship is right on that bearing, and it's useful to offset that a little bit. And they're doing that. That's okay. The problem is that all of these offsets are slightly different. And that means that a lot of our targets here are going to be flying really weirdly. I think we can just... While all of that is happening, let me try to show you what I mean. Yeah, there we go. That's all of our plotted courses. You can see them coming out like that. And some of them are very close, and some of them are actually very far out. The problem with that is that these ones that are far out are going to arrive much later than these ones, because they're going to turn in relatively rapidly, and the other ones not. The second problem is that they're going to come in from so different directions here that it's not conducive to overwhelming the enemy in the sense that I would hope that it would. So what I will need to do is basically bring all of these guys to the same, or at least similar point. Similar because, you know what, I'm going to pause that. Similar because, as you can see, some of them have been launched earlier, and I would like to extend the ones that have been launched a little bit earlier, a little bit further out, and the ones that have been launched a little bit later, a little bit further in, and then they can all sort of turn at the same time and arrive on target at pretty much exactly the same moment. We can also see, of course, that these two groups here should actually be... We should take into account that there's some difference here. But that actually means manually shifting all of these little points here, one by one, for 200 missiles. And I'm not going to do that on screen, because you guys are going to be bored by that to no end. And I would really, really like to avoid that. So we're going to do that off camera, once that these guys have launched. And I can't undo audio cues, because some of these things actually only are triggered by audio cues. By the way, what are you? An Antonov 12BK. I don't know what plane that is, so I want to find out. Electronic warfare, are you? Huh. Well, you are over Russia, so I don't want to really engage you, for the moment at the very least. So, let's see. We're going to bring you over here. This is an area surveillance plane. I think we can pull you in a little bit. I don't actually think this is a dangerous area. This should be covered by these guys, but we've been wrong about that before, so no point of risking that. Right, what was that noise? Let's, by the way, check on how many... Yeah, you've got a lot of missiles left here. So, you know what, I'm going to pause here and probably end the episode, and then I'm going to go a little bit off screen here. I'm going to wait for all of these guys to be launched, but I need to be a little bit careful that some of them are not reaching their turnaround point before that, because that would be kind of awkward. And I probably want to bring them in all from sort of the same southwesterly direction, I believe. That would be good. The original plan had been to send them in from a south by southeasterly direction, which would be sort of this direction here. That kind of works, but it's also not ideal in the sense that... So the good thing about that is that there's a mountain range here, which sometimes you can see better on the relief layer. Although now suddenly all of the... Yeah, you can see this mountain range here. And that does give a good radar coverage. So this battery, for example, will not really be able to engage further out than this, at least for low-flying targets, which these certainly are. But we've got a lot of radars over here, so they are very likely to spot them regardless. So I don't think this approach is that useful. And it just makes, probably since most of our planes are going to be launching from sort of this area here too, I think it makes more sense to just try to overwhelm them. It would of course be very lovely if we could, for example, take out these guys. If you do have some anti-air weapons, which you do, but that's only basically the gun, and I don't really care about the gun. You also have the Grails, but they can't target missiles, so that's not as bad. Okay, yeah, so that's the plan. That's what we're going to do here. And yeah, very eager to see how this approach is going to go. Now, of course, these missiles, that's only about half of our strike package. The rest is going to come in later. And it is going to take a while for them to make their way over here. But it's getting serious, guys. So very, very soon, I think, we are going to see a lot more being launched, and some pretty devastating strikes here. So very eager to see. Ooh, what's going on over here? All of a sudden we are seeing a lot of planes there, and I think that's probably the next strike package here incoming, which does lead me to believe that we should take these guys here and keep them around for now, so that we can then launch against these guys. We're also going to keep these guys around because they do have some anti-air missiles, and it would be nice to take out a couple of incoming planes. Well, all of that being said, hope you guys did in... Wait, what? Why are you returning to base? Shotgun? No, you are not. What are you doing? Stay around here. You've got still a lot of missiles left, and I want to take out at least this fencer, for example, and various other things. Right. So, hope you enjoyed. Do let me know your thoughts about all of this attack plan here. Maybe I'm not going to do all of them, but at least the ones that are too far out. But yeah, hope you know what? I hope you accept that I'm going to do that off screen. I tend to do a lot of things on screen. That just might be too much. So that being said, see you around next time, guys. Bye bye.